makers and the shapers and the builders of future India. I don't address you as educators. I don't address you as the founders, leaders of management institutions. I would like to address you as the makers and the futures and the shapers of the future of this country. And do you have another option? If we don't prove to be the makers and the builders of the future India, what else are we going to become? Are we going to become institutions who are going to churn out people who have a certificate or a degree but don't know how to live their life? Today we are living in a world which is extremely important. We talk about technology, innovation, creativity, and we talk about all these things driving possibilities, creating products and services of the highest quality at the fastest speed, market leadership, never before experiences. And all this is making impossible possible. Exciting times. What else? Technology, innovation, creativity, entrepreneurial mindset. What else are they doing to us? They're also bringing ambiguity, complexity, volatility, stress, distress, helplessness, hopelessness, social disorder, and so on. So if you have to sum it up today, if you talk about the industry, which is inextricably linked with the society that we live in, then I would say we are living through the most exciting, yet the most turbulent times in history. Most exciting times. Unlimited possibilities can happen, and most challenging times. We don't know the future. We don't know what is in store for us. We don't know what is in store for our children, for our grandchildren. So if you talk about our present times, Industry 4.0, this is the most exciting time and the most challenging time. Are the MBA institutions, the B schools, preparing our next generation for this most exciting and challenging time? If I continue to talk about the industry, in the industry we see two different kinds of animals. We see the large elephants and we see the mosquitoes. The elephants are the large organizations, large corporations, organizations which have got thousands of people, hundreds and thousands of people spread across the globe, hierarchical structure. And there are the mosquitoes, the small ones, the startups, agile ones, the swift ones, who can move very quickly. Elephant is large but cannot move quickly. Mosquito is small but can really move swiftly. And the mosquito can make the life of the elephant miserable, and the elephant can't do anything about it. That's the reality for industry today. So what's happening? These elephants are trying to change the business models. They're breaking down into smaller structures. The hierarchical structures are melting away. They're becoming leaner organizations. They're trying to become agile. They're trying to cope with the demands of the time. New business models, new operating models, new organization structures are evolving. Are our B schools preparing our next generation for these new business models, for these new operating models, for these new structures, for this future business model? Well, there are a number of tables here, and imagine that in each table, all of you are playing cards with each other, and you follow a set of rules. And after a few minutes, a couple of you step out of this table, then, and few more people join your table. And suddenly you realize that the two new people who have come into the table, your table, are following a different set of rules. That's disruption. New players coming into the industry, which you were ruling in the past, and have started playing the game with new set of rules, causing disruption. You are clueless. You don't know what's going on. They are making waves. They are winning the battles. They're making big wins. And the industry, the space that used to rule all these years, crumbling away, and you have no idea how to deal with that. So are we really preparing our people, the young generation, to adapt to these changes, to adapt to the new rules of the game? And how do you really prepare them to start playing with this new set of rules? Another food for thought. The knowledge that you acquired in the university, when you did your MBA, when I did my professional education, and each one of us graduated from the university or from the B schools, how much of that knowledge we're using today on our job? Can you give me an honest answer? Probably a very small percentage, isn't it? The knowledge that you are using today on the job, I am using today on the job, how much of it I learned in the university when I studied? Very little. The knowledge that I require 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that knowledge does not exist today. That knowledge does not even exist. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the knowledge about cloud, Hadoop, artificial intelligence, some of those technologies, some of those business models, the knowledge did not exist. The best B schools in the world did not teach that. The knowledge that we are going to use, I'm not talking about our next generation. That does not exist today. That's going to evolve over the next few years. So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, the makers and the shapers of the new industry, of new India, instead of waiting for the whole world to change, can we be the trendsetter? Can we be the change makers? Can we be the game changers? Can we be part of the process, part of the ecosystem which is going to evolve that new knowledge? Instead of waiting for that new knowledge to evolve and then adapting that, then aligning to that, then changing our curriculum to that, as educators, as the premier institutions of this country, can we be the makers of that new knowledge? Can we be the trendsetters? That's another thought I would like to place before you. Before I go back, another thing I would like to bring to the table is MBA education is very different from engineering, very different from the field of law, finance, architecture, or any other field. When we are teaching somebody to become a doctor, we are teaching that person to become good at one-on-one interactions. A doctor has to interact with the patient. When you're making somebody an architect, making somebody a lawyer, we are preparing that person for one-on-one interactions. But in the B schools, when we are teaching people to become managers, we are teaching them to become collaborators. We are teaching them to become leaders. We are teaching them to work with multiple people from multiple cultures and countries and backgrounds and so on. Are we really preparing them for that? Are we really preparing them for those one-on-one interactions? Or are we preparing them for a future where they get into organizations which are global, multicultural organizations where people come from different backgrounds, they have to navigate through different situations which are complex and ambiguous, collaborate with others, and become successful? Are we really doing that? So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the thoughts I would like to put before you. Can we really start thinking differently? Can we ourselves become the game changers? Thank you very much.